I thought I'd make a video of how I dealt with the gap between the replacement bathtub and the studs. That tends to be a problem that a lot of people have, and I just thought I'd show you how I dealt with it. Don't criticize my cutting of the cement board around the knobs, because I swear that was hours of using the nippers to get those things lined up. And I was going to do it again, and then I realized, screw it, who has the time? I'll just deal with it. So anyway, to show you where I am on the rest of I've got a lot of the hardy board in, and I was dealing with this. This is a mud wall at the top and all around, and this actually had been mud wall plus hardy board plus tile, and it was probably, I think that's close to 3 inches of concrete product. So I didn't want to do any more of that than I had to. The problem is, you can see, because we had to go around this waste, actually I don't think it's a waistline, I think it's an air vent. This wall had been curved. It was curved out, so the curve starts here and then it goes here, and you can see it actually at the top if you're standing here looking at it close. So I'm going to just straighten the wall out, and then when I tear this section out later, I will then just do a little corner thing. That doesn't bother me. I think that will look fine. And so to get this wall up here level with the backer board, I did have to do some shimming in there. But once I got down here, things were really bad as far as lining up with the tub. There was about, even with the shim, there was over 1.5 inch gap. And so what I did, I wish I hadn't put this in. I should have filmed this before I put this in. But what I ended up doing, and I don't know if you can see it, but first of all, I put a shim, I put a spacer. Like this shim ends right about here. And then I put a spacer right at level with this, and a shim spacer up against there. And I slid in actually a strip of metal, because I wanted it to be firm, because there was no way to attach anything to anything. It was this stud and this stud, and there was no way to even add in other studs because the walls aren't level and there are pipes in the way. So it's very limited as to what I could do. So I brought the shims down. Like I said, I left a gap here and used the top of the shim, screwing it in at an angle down here. I put the shim there, and then I was able to balance this 1.5 inch piece of metal on the top of that shim and then on the lip of this tub. So that gave me a solid base. Then I took, because I'm replacing the window, so I already had this window waterproofing bituminous blah blah stuff, and I said, okay, I'll make sure that it's never going to get any water from the shower, because it's going to get a lot of water in its life. So I put the aluminum backed bituminous sticky stuff from about here down to here, pushed it into that area where the shim is, and on top, and then rolled it really nice and serious on top of that metal piece, and then folded it over the edge here. Then I'm going to take, and this is not the piece, this is just a sample. I'm going to take a piece of hardy board and put that on there along that way. Tape it in, and then, use my mastic to basically make everything all one nice piece, so that when it comes time to bring the tile down here, because I'll be using large format tile, they'll stop on the top of here. But then I'll just use my bullnose pieces to wrap around that edge, and then I caulk, and we're good to go. Or I should say caulk before I wrap the tile around, and that should keep this all nice and watertight forever. Yes, I know. I'm going to have to use a whole lot of tape and mastic and everything to get all these edges, but I have to do that for all these seams. So it's just, you know, all the same stuff. I hope that helps some people. Right now, I'm seriously debating, because you see how this is floating? I don't like it. And it's $15 for a 2x8 that maybe somehow I can figure out a way to wedge it up against this vent pipe, up against this slanted drywall from the other room, and then give these, at least these 3 boards, something to screw into, something to stabilize them. I'm going to think about it some more, but I probably am going to do that. The problem is it's probably not going to be pretty, because nothing in this house, in this bathroom so far, has been pretty. You do what you have to do. Okay, hope that helps.